Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, July 8th, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I nurture my natural flow towards innocence, back towards innocence. And today we have another planet going retrograde. We have Chiron going retrograde. And so I did a quick little cheat sheet for us all for all these planets retrograde, where we can look within, because that's really the retrograde energy is like we've got to review these lessons, we've got to tune in for a deeper look at these energies. So with Chiron retrograde, Chiron is in Aries. Aries is the sign of the warrior. Aries is the sign of our I am. Aries is the energy that is closest to spirit, as in, I just opened a can of worms that I was like, oh, do I want to go there? No, but here we go. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So in that manner, it's like straight from God, divinely filled with purpose energy, and ready to step into that energy. So with Chiron there, Chiron, the wounded healer, we're healing that part of us that feels like it has that direct order. We're healing the original I am vibration, the original I am energy that we carry. And it's a really important energy. So with Chiron now retrograde through December 12th, we want to look within to know our I am soul self. Acknowledge where you are at on this part of your path is where you're meant to be. But chances are that you've picked up along the lines some projections, some masks, some costumes, some personality traits that maybe aren't true to you. And it's not about being shamed about this. It's just acknowledging that you may have needed them for a time, but this is a return to innocence. I've got it right here. A return to that innocent energy, a return to the truth of your I am energy. And you look within to find it, not outside of yourself. You may see mirrors of it outside of yourself. You may see glimpses and other things outside of yourself, but look really within to know your I am soul self. Set that intention, over these next 6 months, not quite, but 5 months, I guess, to five plus months to dig into these energies, to know yourself better, to see where you may have those masks. I have the rebirth card in reverse, but this I feel like is the process, moving through these different energies to come back to that innocence, to come back to that, that light. I love that, saying by Rumi, you are the soul of the universe, and your name is love. To remember how that resonates in you. What does that love light look like within you? So besides that, we had Mercury just go retrograde yesterday. So Mercury retrograde, look inside to what is important, the heart of the matter. And interestingly enough, Mercury is retrograde in Leo, the sign of the inner child. So again, taking us back to that innocence. This is the Sun card, which is the card of Leo energy. So this is a call to that place. Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius. We have this for about 1 more month. Jupiter retrograde is reminding us that we carry the truth within us, that the wisdom that we need is within us. All of the information, it is coded in there. And again, it's not to say that you can't look outside for help, but don't forget to look within, because you do carry the answers. And sometimes we just get so caught up with learning from what is outside that we forget to look within. Pluto retrograde. Look within for your power. Pluto in Capricorn is helping shift the structures. And right now, it is a time to call that power back to us. Or just remember the power that we carry. I do think... Oops. Doggies. This is why I'm not on camera, because they have been very exhausting. Pluto. We may have given that power away over time. That's something that happens. But this is a call to remember that energy within you, that power that is contained within you. Remember it. Feel it flowing through you. Feel that Shakti energy. Feel the Shiva energy in you. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel the connection to the cosmos and let that remind you of who you are. And then Saturn retrograde. Look within to reconnect to your purpose. Look within to reconnect to how you can respond to the world in a way that's true to you. So with all of these energies, we have our work cut out for us. And this is all happening amidst the eclipse corridor, which is bringing all kinds of stuff up. So we're bringing stuff up and processing what's coming up, but also sinking deeper within to realign with our truth at this time. So, Chiron retrograde. I would say be really aware of head games and ego trips. With this Chiron retrograde, Aries rules the head. It rules the nervous system. And it rules, Leo is responsible for ego with Mercury retrograde. That may come up as well. But Aries energy also brings up that ego. So be very aware. You may feel yourself in the midst of a head game and an ego trip. And it may be these projections. It may be these masks. It may be this image that you've carried that's actually ready to go. And if you bring that awareness, there is much healing for you to be done. You can strip yourself and again, return to innocence. I keep having that song. I can't remember who sings it. And is it Enya? Return to Innocence? I think that is. Yeah, that song keeps playing in the back of my head. Go listen to it. Let that be your anthem for this retrograde. All right, so interestingly, now here's a very interesting thing to me. It's always interesting to me the last planet that will meet up with a sign before it goes retrograde. And the last planet to meet up with Chiron, two planets actually, to meet up with Chiron before and as it goes retrograde is Venus. So Venus in Cancer reminding us of the importance of the yin. Venus in Cancer reminding us of the nurturing element that is a part of our foundation, that is a part of our I am truth. I believe in as above, so below. And I believe in Mother, Father, God. I believe the universe carries both that yin and yang energy. And on this earth, one of the reasons why we're really struggling is we've forgotten that yin. And so Venus is meeting up with Chiron saying, remember the importance, remember the value, remember this yin consciousness energy, remember how nurturing will ultimately support you. So we have that in a square. So Chiron and Aries might feel very young, that young warrior, but the warrior can carry that nurturing energy. So Venus is reminding Chiron of that. We also have the moon, which is in Libra. So Libra, bringing that balance of the yin and the yang. Moon in Libra is also connecting to that Chiron energy, saying you have to remember this balance within. Now, I'm not saying you have to be 50% yin, 50% yang. We all have different energies along the spectrum, and that's okay. But you have to remember the yin. And you have a version of the yin that does want to come through you. And so I do believe that this is part of the energy that is being brought forward in this retrograde. And again, it comes during the midst of this eclipse energy, which again, the eclipses are bringing up that nurturing energy, and they are bringing up our ancestry from our maternal and paternal lines. So we're striving for balance. The universe is like, come on, humans, you can do this balance thing. Speaking of the balance thing, the moon in Libra is making many other connections through the day. The moon in Libra is connecting to Mars and Mercury, which we should talk about because we have Mercury conjunct Mars in Leo. Again, you may feel some ego trips coming up today. Your inner child may get his or her panties in a bunch. At one point, there may be some pain that comes forward, and that Mars energy in that fire sign may have knee-jerk reaction. See if you can be that parent, that nurturing energy, before you have that knee-jerk reaction, and then have to repair both the original trigger and the newest, I don't want to say damage, but the newest, bump on your knee from that reactionary energy. Be very aware of it. Also, Mercury retrograde stuff may be heightened since that Mars energy is on top of there. I also want to mention this is at 4 degrees, that evolution revolution degree. So those triggers may be up. Interestingly that I use the knee analogy in here because hurting your knee in like spiritual, I don't know, like Louise Hay will say, like hurting your knee, the knee represents the ego. So watch out for bumping your knees because that may be a gentle sign from the universe to pay attention to your ego being up. Oh God, so much today. So the moon feeding into that is saying we need to balance. We need to balance between inner child and our inner parent. The inner adult that helps nurture the child through these energies. Venus meeting up with Uranus. Venus is facing liberation. I feel like through what we're going through, be aware how can you show up as a nurturer. Be aware where do you not value yourself as that nurturer, because this may be an opportunity to make a little shift there. Also, one last thing, so much ego potential today. We also have the sun in conjunct Jupiter. So you may have varying views coming at you. Listen to your intuition. Your mind may be like, that's not right. But that sun in Cancer is reminding us that at our foundation, we are these intuitive beings that are so connected. And it's so important to get back to that energy to remember ourselves. All right, so let's look at these cards. It is not about shooting on yourself. That traps you when you fall into that pattern. And where we really want to get to is to this innocence, a return to innocence. We are in the midst of this innocence rebirth, but we have to face where there have been projections and we've taken on those projections. Those projections, they are, I don't want to say what I have to say. They are a minefield. They are the burden. We've taken them on, we have internalized them in our mind, but this is an opportunity to get past that. From After Tarot, speaking of innocence in the child, I pulled the 6 of Cups, and this card is a card of nostalgia. And here are these children who have just, re-met, who have reconnected. They're running off to play. They're running off to remember joy and peace and good things. So take a moment to run off today to remember joy and peace and the good things that make you feel like that innocence again. All right, so that is it for today. Take a moment. What are you grateful for? And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You do have the power, and you can always book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Namaste.